The confiscation of fentanyl at the Arizona-Mexico border is up 600% from 2016, according to data provided to the Arizona Daily Star from Customs and Border Protection.
The data also shows that 140 pounds were seized this year at Arizona's ports, enough to kill more than 21 million people.
Cronkite News reporter Kevyn Gessner tells us what fentanyl is and why we've seen such an increase in the drug use.
Fentanyl is one of the strongest opioids an addict can find, and according to the Centers for Disease Control, the drug is 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times more potent than morphine. A report from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says fentanyl-related deaths are up 540% nationwide in the past 3 years. Shannon Scheel, the director of drug prevention and education for the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, says drug users have turned to fentanyl.
They switch from the opioids into the sheer heroin or pure heroin, which is probably one of the purest forms. And then as you go up to get synthetically, that's where you jump into fentanyl.
Fentanyl is prescribed to patients that deal with large amounts of pain, such as people with cancer, in the form of a patch. But the illegal forms of fentanyl can be pills or powders. Beth Brady, crime lab manager for the Arizona Department of Public Safety, says the abuse of other opioids has increased over the past 7 years. And with crackdowns on prescriptions, the street price has increased with it, which has led to the rise of fentanyl.
People have switched to heroin, which is cheaper. And now we're just seeing the next step in that process. Now people unknowingly are being given fentanyl or sold fentanyl mixed in with their heroin.
And since these street forms obviously don't have quality control, the effects of fentanyl can be deadly.
An amount about the size of a couple grains of salt to be potentially catastrophic for somebody.
Scheel says fentanyl is easily obtained, so dealers lace heroin to increase the high.
One of the things with opioids or with all drugs, you always want to increase your high every time you take it, and this is another way of doing that.
Also today, new reports from TMZ are suggesting fentanyl played a role in a Tucson rapper Lil Peep's death. Tucson police say his death last week likely resulted from an overdose. In the broadcast center, Kevyn Gessner, Cronkite News.
Cronkite News is dedicated to covering the opioid crisis. You can watch our documentary Hooked RX, From Prescription to Addiction, and find resources for getting help online at hookedrx.org.